Hey everyone, and welcome to Television from the Multiverse, the DC TV podcast from MailFuzz TV. I am Peter, and joining me as always, not feeling as terrible as last week, is Connor.
Yeah, I'm mostly better.
Yeah, we're still a day later than we should be on this, but not 2 days late this week. So, improvement.
It's an improvement.
It's an improvement. But what are we talking about this week? Because we talk about DC TV shows, obviously. We have new episodes of Doom Patrol, Supergirl, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and The Flash to discuss. So that's what's coming up.
Full slate.
Pretty much full slate, yeah. So that's what's coming up. And will I remember what happened on Arrow or Flash? We'll find out.
I can tell you, I certainly don't. I forgot they were on this week until you went through that list then.
I am... Oh, no. Do you know what? if you'd asked me 10 minutes ago what happened in Flash, I couldn't have told you. It just clicked in my head. It just clicked. And I remember it now.
Oh, yeah.
It just clicked. So yeah, that's what's coming up on this week's show. So, we do normally start with some news, though, if there is any news to talk about. And there is, once again, there's some trailers. And it's funny, because both these have had short teasers, but I mean, when we say short, we mean like a couple of shots, if that. In fact, in one case, it was literally just one shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll start off with Pennyworth, which got it's still kind of a short thing. It's only like 45 seconds, but it had more in it than the last teaser did.
Yeah, and it came with a date.
It's coming July 28th, so that's when we'll be trying Pennyworth. Do you find this appealing at all?
Oh, God, no.
No, nor do I.
This looks terrible. What is this show?
There is nothing about this that makes me want to watch it, and the only reason why I will try watching it is because we do this stupid podcast.
Damn this show.
Okay, maybe my curiosity would make me try it anyway if we weren't, but nothing about it seems that interesting. They're really playing up the whole Britannia sort of element of it all with the music.
It's an alternate history as well, right?
Yeah, it looks like not quite Nazis, I don't think, but it looks like there's like some sort of like underground invading force that Alfred's fighting against. There's like all these Union Jacks with these bird logos slapped on it, as if it's someone trying to take over the UK. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
I don't know what the hell this show is.
I didn't get your name, Alfred Pennyworth. I'm Thomas Wayne. I'm just like, oh, I hate this. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate all of it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing about it that looks interesting. The fighting doesn't look that interesting. The style doesn't look that interesting.
You barely can see it though because it's cutting around. It's still a relatively short trailer.
Oh, it is, yeah. Nothing about it appeals to me though, which is maybe not that harsh.
This should have stayed as a joke in Teen Titans Go.
It should have done, yeah. No one, like, if you give me like a 90-minute sassy Alfred comedy where Batman is active and all the Robins are active, but it follows him going around the mansion, like preparing for them all coming back and all his interactions with them, I could take a comedy like that. Give me 90 minutes of that, sure.
Just hearing them over the comms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the secret history of Alfred, this is almost as ridiculous, and it's like a smidge away from that Aunt May movie that we almost got.
Yeah, at least Alfred has a backstory. Yeah, he has the spy history to, if you insist on doing something, it's there.
Yeah. I don't think I ever wanted to see it, though.
No one did.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's Pennyworth. I mean, it's worth a penny, I suppose. I mean,
is it? I'm not sure.
It's as high as I'm willing to go.
It may be too high.
There is nothing lower. Well, actually,
Exactly.
In the time period there was, I suppose, technically.
Ah, yeah.
There was half pennies back in those days.
Yeah. See?
All right, the other more interesting trailer was a 1.5-minute trailer for Swamp Thing, coming from DC Universe. We did have that one-shot teaser of just Swamp Thing coming out of the water. This was more of a traditional movie trailer kind of thing. And notably, not surprisingly, but interestingly anyway, I think, is that it's a full-on horror trailer. Like, this is a horror movie trailer.
It is.
The way it's cut, the music, the screaming, building up
almost to a fault. It's a little bit generic in some of that.
Oh, sure. That's fair. Um, it's a weird thing though, where like I don't really care for them to tell me what the plot is in the trailer for this because it's a property we know well enough that I just want a flavor. So, and they give me a flavor. Ultimately, I'm like, this looks kind of good. I kind of want this to be a horror show. Everything I feel about this that's negative all comes from news that happened like a week ago.
Yeah, which we spoke about last time, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we spoke about that in depth. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but
I was very ill last time, so I don't remember that show very well.
it may have been the week before though. But I like the trailer looks fine. Swamp Thing looks good.
Like I said, maybe a little generic on the horror elements, but not bad.
What I like about it though is that there's some proper like body horror stuff where I don't know if it's swampy. I don't think it is in the morgue. Like, you know, sitting up and there's like it was kind of viney, so I thought maybe it is swampy after he's been like burned or something like that.
I thought it was supposed to be an early transformation.
Sure,
you know,
okay.
he's not gone full swamp yet.
I can see that. But the body horror stuff's make me think. Yeah, I want to see Floronic Man. I want to see, you know, these other characters in this show. So
yeah, I'm down for it.
So I'm feeling positive based on the trailer, but obviously I'm apprehensive because of the news of them cutting the season down and whatnot.
We're gonna have this thing throughout the entire season, even if we're enjoying it for like 8 episodes. We're gonna get to the end of episode 9, and we could be. Let's say we're loving it as much as we are Doom Patrol, and we're gonna go. Is the next episode gonna shit it all away? That's going to be in the back of my head the whole time. I don't know if there's any level of quality that can get around that until I've finished the season and found out.
And it's worse than Titans because at least with Titans, it's like we know it's getting a season 2. So even though it suddenly cuts off, it's like, well, even if you had been loving it, you knew you're getting more. It's not just ending here. Even if it's a weird end to a season, like with Swamp Thing, because they're doing this, and it's not just that they're holding it back for next season. It's like, is there going to be any more?
Yeah, this could be it.
This could be it. So, I will see. I mean, maybe we'll hate it and we won't care that it's going to ruin the ending.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It's a bit of a catch-22.
It is, yeah.
Bit of a catch-22, but no, and it's got James Wan's name all over it, from producer James Wan.
Oh God, they don't shut up about it.
So, there you go. That's the trailers. That's the news. So we can talk about episodes then. We will start off with Doom Patrol, of course, season 1, episode 10. It's called Hair Patrol, and I want to give this episode a point for
having the most disgusting thing in the show yet.
That's not what I was going to say exactly. I was going to say the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in anything ever.
It's up there.
I had to cover my eyes. I wanted to gag during a scene in this. And I never feel that way. I never give a shit when I see gore and shit. I don't care. Let the guts and blood fly. I don't give a shit. But someone taking a clump of old wet hair out of a drain and eating it, and there was this thing where he held it up close to his face. I'm like, tell me he's not going to eat that. Tell me he's not going to eat that. You could
see.
And it was so effective that later on when he's sort of like wetting his lips and like, when he's looking at Cyborg's beard, I'm like, oh my god, this will make me feel sick.
Do you know what? It's really because when I'm cleaning the house, I got no problem, scrubbing the toilet, doing the shower, whatever. Doesn't bother me. The one thing that always just I hate doing is unclogging the drains with having to get the hair out the drain after you shower or whatever. I hate it. It's the worst thing about cleaning the house. It's like the singular worst thing. It's the thing where like nope, need gloves. Get this. Don't want to see it. Don't want to look. Get a bin. It's horrible.
And it's worse for you because you're ginger.
Exactly. It's true. I just
I legitimately gagged during this scene. It made me feel sick, and
so much credit to the actor for getting through that with a straight face.
Oh god, it was disgusting. And I mean, obviously it wasn't real hair. I'm sure they gave him something that was
probably candy floss. I don't care. But the point is, it still looked like that.
Oh, I feel sick just talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the beard
hunter.
Beard hunter, yes. He can, if he consumes a beard, not a whole beard, or just part of a beard.
Hair.
Yeah, one hair will do. He can track the person who
and has access to all their thoughts and memories.
Yeah, he gets one hair from Cyborg and starts like giving Cyborgs some like memories
He's
and
connected to he's connected to them because the beard is part of everything in a man's life. And he's like dodging Cyborg's punches because he's so connected. He knows what Cyborg's about to do.
yes, it's basically like a ridiculous scene. Do you know what really struck me about this character, which is really funny? Is we watched Titanium not long ago, and there's a character in that who's this loser who keeps saying that he's like secretly like an agent and that people call upon him. This character's basically that, except he is actually called upon by an organization because he has this skill, and that really made me laugh. And
Yeah.
he gets suited up and he goes to find Niles Calder, and he comes into the mansion. And what I love about the scene where he's licking his lips, and at one point a bubble forms between his lips because he's looking at Cyborg's beard like close up. Because I was thinking, is Cyborg noticing this? And it immediately cut to Cyborg going, "All right, we're done here," and he leaves because he's uncomfortable because this guy is just like, beard,
yeah.
And that on its own would just be funny to me, but because I'd already seen him eat this clump of hair out the drain, it made me feel sick again.
Yeah. Oh, it was disgusting.
When we said last week, I'm sure the next one will be the other side of what happened in the house, when they were inside Jane's head. I can never predict, and I'm sure this is a thing from the comics, I'm sure the Beard Hunter's a thing in Doom Patrol, we just didn't get to it yet, but I would never have predicted dude who eats beards and then can track the other guys that the beards came from.
This is next level, even for Doom Patrol.
Oh my god!
I kind of love it, and I kind of hate it because it's just hideous and disgusting, but kind of amazing.
I love it in concept, and I love what it led to with the dodging and everything else. I mean, it seems like he's gone though, but because the episode ends with him essentially, I think, get into like a Mr. Nobody-esque kind of like warped reality because he's in these weird stairs and there's no like surroundings and
and facing off against the demon god,
the demon god thing, which we'll get to more properly in a minute. Although notably, there's like a rag doll version of Niles, but it's full size.
Yeah.
And then the demon god thing seems to kill the Beard Hunter. So the Beard Hunter is no more. Also, the image on IMDb that I'm looking at of this guy is just something else. He's so cocky. He loves what he does.
He does, doesn't he?
He really does. I don't. Oh. However, they did manage to put a tracker on him because Cyborg wanted to bug him, and actually it's Rita who kind of does that last second.
She's got no beard hairs, you see.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This guy's like arch nemesis is basically every woman because he can't track them. He can't get inside their head.
Yeah,
because they ain't done. Maybe it'd work if he ate like leg hairs. Does that still work, or is it just beards, strictly beards?
I don't know.
Has he tried to eat any type of hair from somewhere else?
I don't know.
I mean, also, who's to say? I mean, the hair in the drain.
How do you find this out?
The hair in the drain. Well, that's a good question for starters. Just how did he discover this ability? Was he just drawn to the beards, or before he tried it? The other question I have though is like, how did he know for sure that it was only going to just be beard hair in that sink? You don't know what else Niles is trimming.
Yeah, I don't think he did, but I think he was just willing to assume there was beard hair in there. Although I think he is actually drawn to the beard hair. Like, you said, is he drawn to it? He does seem to be like, because he focuses in on that one single hair on the floor. Like, he knows it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get this.
I think he can, like,
wonderful
supernaturally sense.
Slow motion shot of the single hair falling from his beard and just sort of, trickling down to the ground. I don't...
And when he, like, sucks to get it in, with the air inhalation, it does seem like it just shoots straight in, like, in a way that doesn't feel natural. It feels like the beards are drawn to him.
This conversation is something else. I don't even know what to say.
The worst part is this is all making sense in context.
It is. It really is. So, the other side of the episode is a flashback story with Niles.
Yeah, that immortal bastard.
From 1913. I actually thought it was going to explain why he was still the same age by the end of it. Like, maybe in this story he would, whatever happens to him that makes him
No,
immortal
I thought
or
it might have been as well, but it's that kind of setting it up
yeah.
and playing with it.
But he 1913. They're I can't remember where they were. Damn it.
It's Canada somewhere.
Yeah, it was somewhere cat. Yeah, and there's a legend of a monster around here. It's killed some hunters, and it turns out it's this woman. Well, it's not really her. The demon god as well. But for a while, I think you're under the assumption for a lot of the episode that she turns into something or whatever.
Until you see the fireside scene, yeah.
Yeah. Firefly. Now is not a time. The cat's.
Yeah.
Nope.
Should mention Niles is working for an organization. What was it? Department of
Irregularity.
yeah, because it wasn't
Irregularity.
the normalcy, which is the one from last week, right?
Yeah, it's almost the inverse.
Yeah, it's. But interestingly, I suspect it might be the same one.
Yeah, they turned into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because even when the other hunter dude who's with them comes back towards the end, he's like, no, now we exterminate anything that's weird. We don't just try and take it in. And Nails is going to kill him right there and then. It's like, no, because obviously the story is here. He falls in love with this bearded woman over this couple of years where he's living in the wilderness with her, and it's not a great relationship at first. She's very mean to him, but over time they kind of bond. And Firefly, no,
Going for the cables.
he's just trying to lie in awkward places and push things around and
be a general pest because it's a cat.
Yeah. No, because he's a ginger.
All cats are like this.
No. All the ginger ones. So yeah, we have this love story. And it feels like a flashback you would read in a book actually. Like it's all from his journal. He's like, the journal of Nails called her, and he's talking about what's happening. And he eventually gets rid of the journal, and he goes back home to civilization only to protect the fact that she exists and to protect whatever's there, so that you can say, no, there's nothing out there. I can confirm that no weirdness, and you can kind of see this is how he leads to sort of finding people on his own and try to protect them because he knows what other people will do to him.
Yeah, I will say though, this episode pushed me further towards Niles is a terrible person. Even though this on its surface feels like, okay, no, he's a good guy, right? This is the origin of how he, of why he protects these people.
Oh yeah, now the first thing, because even though I've always had this sense from the comics, the first time he's ever said something in this show that's made me go, he's a bit of a cruel bastard, even though his intentions otherwise seem quite good, is at the end when it turns out the reason why we're seeing all these memories is because Mr. Nobody's peering into his mind, right? And then we come to the pure blank white room, and he's like, hey, tell me where she is, and this is what you've been protecting all these years, and blah 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 blah. Mr. Nobody threatens to basically torture and kill all of the Doom Patrol, all of his family, as it were. And he's like, I don't care if you torture them, I'm not going to give in just because you threatened. I'm like, that's a bit of a dick thing to say.
Yeah, no, that I think all of it is selfish reasons.
Sure.
So this search for immortality, maybe more, maybe it's not just that he's bringing them in, he's studying all of them for his own reasons to do whatever his plan is.
Yeah, because there's a reference that Mr. Nobody says that you've had this quest to be immortal.
Yeah.
Implying that whatever's kept him the same age has been his own doing. Like he's seeked it out, and whether it's science or mystical or whatever, he's
done this. Yeah,
he's done this. Yeah. So I'm on a can. You continue.
All right. Okay. All the stuff with the Bidler was fascinating because it starts, they can't really communicate. It's a rough relationship, like you said. But she takes her out into like this takes him to this village almost of and there's all these like tribal drawings of a tribe people, but seemingly she's always there through all these generations. She's been around a while, but no one else is left. She's the last one. But she still worships, has this relationship with this demon god thing. The deer-headed monstrosity. It reminded me. Oh God, what was that show we watched?
The Terror.
The Terror. Thank you. While I was watching it, I knew the name of that. I just blanked. In the last like 2 minutes. It really reminded me of stuff in that show, actually. Obviously, we saw a bit more of it here, but
yeah, I can see what you're saying with that. I get the comparison.
yeah, but it's working for me, and I'm really intrigued as to what this and the fact that it shows up again at the end. I want to
Yeah,
know more.
I think this plot was interesting and it was fine in what it was doing. It's inherently less entertaining than the rest of the Doom Patrol cast.
Yes.
Which means that I think I don't love this episode as much as some of the others. However, the beard stuff in the other plot was so outrageous that it kind of was trying to balance out the fact that the other one wasn't as weird. You know, it was a bit more sort of slow paced and kind of just going through the natural beats of the plot for the most, because because the actual core thing where he's with this woman and falls in love is actually pretty typical. It's not that weird a story.
Yeah. I think the fact that she's immortal and there's this supernatural being thing there as well kind of gives it this edge. But I think Timothy Dalton's just good enough to pull this off that I can watch him mostly for 20-25 minutes out of this episode.
I mean, it could be however she healed him even is what did it, and we just don't know that yet.
Yeah, could be. But just the fact that he's good enough to pull this off, it was always enthralling, entertaining. Maybe not as entertaining as the team as a whole.
I mean, not that I think Mr. Nobody needs to be immortal now that he's what he is, but like, is he searching for this? Is that what he wants from Niles?
I don't know. He feels like he's beyond immortality, doesn't he? Like, it doesn't matter to him anyway.
He's such a meta being at this point that I don't think
is he immortal anymore?
Yeah, it feels more like he's Dr. Manhattan in terms of immortality than he does anything else.
He does, yeah.
So I don't know if he needs to be immortal, but I'm still wondering if that's why he wants to find.
It could be.
Maybe for someone else, or maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. The demon perhaps maybe offers him something else.
Could be.
He wants to rule hell. I don't know.
Why not on this show?
Oh, yeah, why not? I don't know. But seriously, if you got a beard, watch out for the beard hunter, because he's coming.
Yeah, he is,
and he's going to enjoy eating your beard far too much. And it's disgusting in a creepy way, but it's also just disgusting in a raw gagging way, because it's filthy and disgusting and vile.
It's terrible. Never want to see it again.
No. I mean, the thought of eating hair's bad enough, but eating like wet hair down a drain that's all clogged up and being there for weeks. Oh.
I know.
I'm just going to watch that scene every day to lose weight, because I'll hardly
that'll do the trick.
Yeah, no, I'm not eating anything. That's the best idea. But that is Paw Patrol. Also, worth mentioning actually, the comic that Cyborg got from Danny the Street did have a missing character in an ad, and Rita described it as a big muscly dude, and I did notice the word Mentalo on the page. So
I think all flexes come to life.
Yep. So very, very curious to see that. Also, I like that when Rita says she's teaming up with someone, she's like, "Oh, so we'll co-star with them." You mean team up?
Yeah,
that was funny. All right, so
I believe the next episode's a Rita episode.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
it's called Francis Patrol. I'll assume that is.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take us on to Supergirl season 4, episode 18. It's called Crime and Punishment, and filler episode is filler episode basically.
Yep.
It's not terrible, but it's filler, and there's one key point the episode needs to make by the end, and that is that Supergirl is in a place now where she wants to hide from people because she feels that everyone hates Supergirl, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine in concept. Which in concept is fine. The problem is that every single guest star who's there to like show that and say, "Oh my God, you killed everyone at the White House, Supergirl. You're horrible. They're all terrible," and every single scene with that in it made me cringe.
Absolutely. On the other hand, here's Otis. That could just come out of nowhere and cracked me up.
It did come out of nowhere, and I like that they're maybe like delving more into him being stupid. It seems like they're playing with that more.
Yeah.
And I was almost disappointed when they blew him up, but then they brought him back again. It's like, yeah, well, we keep bringing you back to life. This is your thing now. I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. We can just keep killing him.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Because Supergirl, like Lena, they go to this prison to look at Lexi's cell, and I thought it was weird. Supergirl felt the need to like defend, like because at one point it's like it's like Clarice walking down the cell block in Silence of the Lambs, except instead of throwing jizz at them, they're yelling. Hey Supergirl, love what you did to the White House. This place is for criminals, not terrorists. And Supergirl turns around and goes, "Hey, that wasn't me that did that." And I'm like, "What good do you think this is going to do? He's a prisoner."
Yeah, yeah.
If it felt so weird to me for her. I mean, I get it from like a normal person she saved. Like I get her genuinely saying, "Hey, that wasn't me. I want you to trust me." I don't get why walking down this like
they don't trust you anyway. They hate you.
Yeah, you're just showing you're letting them get to you. That's all this is. Just straight ahead. I don't know.
Kara's not the brightest bulb, is she?
Sometimes they write her to be so dumb. And that's the thing. I don't think she actually is dumb. I think the writers just have to write her dumb to get their point across sometimes, and it's frustrating.
Oh no, they don't have to write them to get their point across. They think they do because they think we won't get the point otherwise, even though.
Oh sure, yes.
They hammer it in too hard.
Sure. So yeah, the episode's basically them in Lexi's cell looking for clues, and eventually, like, always shows up and fights Supergirl. Is Supergirl like hiding like her clothes under her cape or something like that? Because she gets out of the situation by like, because eventually her kryptonite shield that Lena brought for her, because they're besties again.
Yeah, it's convenient that blast always aimed right at that chest, isn't it?
Yeah, I oddly took it as like it wasn't just protecting the chest though. Like it like the device actually did something beyond that.
I'd be fine with that if we showed a blast aimed at anywhere but directly at that shield.
Sure, they always hit the shield. You're right. Because I'm like, this is such a stupid target because like they can hit anywhere else. So I assume it has to be some sort of force field or some sort of aura or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. So she turns back into Kara, and Otis just kind of like, wait, why are you in here? And she's like, oh, I'm a reporter. I'm here doing a story about this. And then I actually like the joke here because she says, hey, do you want to like say something about the prison reformation piece that I'm doing? And that's she's just faking it, obviously. But he's like, no, I don't trust the press. And then he says this like ridiculously smart sounding sentence. Everything else he says sounds completely dumb. And he's like, no, I don't trust the press because they lack the grander, view on the. I can't even remember what he said. But it was really specific and technical.
It was, yeah.
And it was like, that was actually really funny. Him just like casually hitting it with a really smart sentence like that. I hope that's a running joke. That's funny. And then Lena, finds something.
Finds the hidden room.
Yeah.
Hidden lab.
And finds out that, he's got cameras in it. Because they find out he's been coming and going and all the rest of it.
Basically, she finds out what we already knew.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there was any revelation that was new to us by the end, but I don't think there was.
I don't recall any.
No. But that's fair.
It's not a particularly memorable episode, is it?
No, it's not. It's filler episode. I mean, Jimmy's plot is just like him going to therapy and like.
Then, oh look, he is getting powers after all.
Breathing exercises and. Every time he hears a gunshot, he like completely freaks out. And basically, yeah, he these black lines come up his back of his neck, and his eyes go black, and it's kind of clear that okay, there's actually some sort of meta thing going on here. And by the end, he's convinced his sister of that.
Who'd have thought that the injection that was created to give people superpowers might have given him superpowers? Why has no one thought, hey, maybe we should keep him under observation in case this happens, because that was what it was designed for?
Lex
got powers from it.
Okay, I just don't care about Jimmy's plot, and it's been rough going. And then the other plot is Brainy wants to delete the alien registry so that Lockwood, now that he's in an official position, because he comes in demanding all the alien weapons, and they signal in Supergirl so they can try and take her out. And Haley, to her credit, warns Supergirl with a double tap, so doesn't happen. Yep. But Brainy has this dilemma. He wants to delete the registry, but then before he does it, he has this moment of like, wait a minute, what if this is the wrong thing? What if this is worse because, other reasons? So he tries to get... Yeah, he tries to get Nia to like tell him about the future, and she's like,
And
"Oh, it's fine when you want to get information from the
yeah,
future, but not when I do."
and then she just does the coin flip trick.
Yeah, where clearly he wanted one outcome, and it's like, okay, well that's
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
you're going with.
Just pick one, say it, and wait and see what his reaction is.
Yeah, and then she actually has a nightmare where he shouldn't do it, and turns out he has removed it, but he made a copy that he has just in case they need it. So, okay.
Yeah.
There was some funny brainy lines, in there. He's usually entertaining.
Those two have chemistry.
They do, and there was some funny lines in there, which was good. Because I think Nia was trying to eat a donut or something during this scene, which was
That sounds about right for this show.
yeah. Hey, my favourite scene of the whole season might be Kara showing up to DEO being like, "Hey, I come in peace and bearing donuts."
That was good. That was good.
It's still my favourite scene. This episode is just so mediocre though overall. It's nothing of real importance happens.
Yeah, it's not a great return, is it? After a few weeks off.
No, because when Supergirl and Lena go to the prison, I thought, okay, this will be a scene, and it ended up being the whole episode.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Arrow had one good episode this season, and it was entirely set in a prison because it was like a Die Hard plot.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. This better than this.
Yeah. The other notable thing though is Kara. So it tries as Supergirl, it fails, but Kara, as reporter Kara, gets this other prisoner to talk. This prisoner who's like the one writer on the prison newsletter, who's like a big fan of her work and agrees to tell her things.
He was a journalist before, right?
Yeah.
That was the point. He's in there for leaking secrets.
Yeah. So he's like to tell her stuff about Lex and stuff. So
yeah,
she's got him on board.
Cool.
Ah, dear. I feel like all the worthwhile things that happened in this episode, and the main beat of like Kara is like now scared into hiding as Supergirl, and maybe she can save the day now, not as Supergirl but as Kara. That's fine. That's fine. But how we get there is just tedious, dull,
What's weird
and forgettable.
It feels like we've kind of forgotten that Alex doesn't know.
Yeah, it's almost irrelevant because now
it was such a big thing for like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, like obviously still doesn't know. She doesn't know at all, but it doesn't matter in this episode because she's working with Supergirl anyway.
Yeah, but it was such a huge deal for like 2 or 3 episodes where it's like that was all we could think about, and now it's just like whatever. She just doesn't know.
I hope Lena finds out first, and then just sort of looks over at Alice and goes like, "Of course your sister's Supergirl. What, are you an idiot? How did you not see that?"
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Because that's what we're all thinking about Lena at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, it was Supergirl.
Indeed, it was.
Hey, still head and shoulders above 2 other shows we're going to talk about. So, that will take us on to Arrow, season 7, episode 19. It's called Spartan, which, as you would imagine, means it's
it was this one.
A Diggle episode, where we bring in Ernie Hudson as his stepfather.
When you say we bring in, you mean we waste.
We waste Ernie Hudson as Diggle's stepfather, whose last name happens to be Stewart. Which,
yes.
Basically, this exists to explain why on another Earth he is actually John Stewart and he's a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
It sets up why on another Earth that's why his name is that instead of Diggle. And okay, fine. I'm not going to say I'm not going to enjoy seeing that in Crisis when it happens because it's so happening in Crisis.
It's going to be fun. I'm down for it.
Yeah, especially when I've not seen any Green Lanterns on this universe. It's never been a thing before.
I want to see a Green Lantern.
Yeah. Still though, if we're doing a Green Lantern show, let's get Jessica as the lead. We don't have to deal with the others.
You're overlooking the best Lanterns.
Am I?
Yeah, Guy.
No. Jessica's best, Kyle is second. Then Hal. Then John, then Baz. And then somewhere after...
Oh, no. I will not stand for Guy being below Baz.
Why?
Because Baz has, like, almost no personality.
Which is better than Guy's personality.
You're wrong. You're just wrong.
Yeah, and obviously Kilowog. I mean, if we're counting Alien Lanterns, Kilowog's like number 3.
Let's not even get into Alien Lanterns. We'll be here all day.
And Bidge. I need to say Badge, but Bidge.
Yeah.
That's how it's written. And Chip.
Space Ape.
Oh, Space Ape. Yeah, there you go. That was one. Where's Mogo? Yeah, Planet. Planet-sized lantern. Anyway, can you tell that this episode of Arrow was not that interesting to talk about? And I'm not going to lie, like, trying to remember what actually happened in this episode is going to be a challenge. So we have Ernie Hudson, and they're going to try and stop the Ninth Circle from getting their hands on these weapons. Yeah. Whatever the MacGuffin is. Oliver still believes Emiko is being controlled by Dante and needs to be saved.
Yeah.
It turns out she was being truthful about wanting whoever killed her mother, because it turns out Dante killed her mother and she kills Dante at the end of the episode. Again, clearly displaying that she is the one in charge and she is the big bad.
Yep.
So that happens, and Dante's all like, "Oh."
This double-edged sword.
Okay.
One, I kind of want this to be over and done with.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, this really should be the thing for the rest of the show at this point.
Yes.
And I don't know if I genuinely don't know if it's going to be or not.
Nah, you bring Tommy back for season 8.
Only on the condition
Uh-huh.
that we get Prometheus 2.
Yeah, that's what we get. We get like this villainous Legion of Doom from Arrow. You get Tommy, Prometheus.
Yeah, because we know he's always 5 steps ahead.
Get Merlin back
he's
somehow.
Just 4 seasons ahead. That's all.
And you can bring back Diaz on the condition that the other villains like kill him in the first episode because they just get annoyed by him.
Yeah.
I'll accept it under those conditions. So, yeah, I mean, there's tracking and there's fighting and there's
yeah.
There's
Felicity's on a mission.
Yeah, Felicity's got her own thing with Hive Lady, whose name I can never remember.
I don't know her name, and this episode literally didn't say it.
I'm going to get her name
because I know it didn't say it, because early on I was like, I don't remember her name, and I was paying attention, and it didn't say it, and I had subtitles on, so I'd have seen it. It's just unacceptable to go an entire episode and not say the name.
Elena.
Are you sure?
That's what it says in the credits on IMDb.
That does not sound at all familiar, but okay.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with this. So Felicity basically. That's what it is, because they're going after. They've already got Archer. They steal Archer from their tablet, and they basically Felicity. That makes Felicity realize, because they're using Archer to track down like important officials and important people. One of whom turns out to be Ernie Hudson's character. She basically says, no, I need to destroy this because it can be used for harm. And of course, we've seen that it turns the city into a dystopia in the future, so we know she's telling the truth here. But Elena here seems to not be too fond of this idea, because this is going to be their cash cow. So even though Felicity goes through with it, I think it's pretty obvious that she's backed up. Well, she even says she's backed up the source code so they can try again. Felicity doesn't want to, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Elena's going to do it anyway.
Do you know what I hate about this?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make it out that Felicity's not that bad. She was aware. She tried to stop it, and it just happened anyway. No. She created a terrifying surveillance system.
She nuked a town.
That too.
She nuked a town. And obviously Diggle has an arc where he hates his stepfather.
And then he doesn't.
And then he doesn't, because it turns out that... Because he blamed his stepfather for his dad's death. Which is interesting, that his dad and stepdad were like buddies, or at least together in the military.
Yeah, they were, because they served in the same unit, and he was like, and he came round, like 6 months later, he was moving in.
Yeah, sounds a bit sketchy. I'd be dubious of that as well, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, moving in on my mother, just 6 months later. Yeah, all right.
yeah, yeah. Definitely nothing going on before there, was there?
Yeah, but it turns out his father was actually just shit at his job, and that his own negligence got them killed.
Yeah.
And Ernie Hudson basically took the fall so that Diggle would always, believe that his dad was a hero.
Do you know what? It says a lot that you actually remember this character's name because it's Stuart. And we know that because that's the whole point of this character. And you're still going, yeah, it's just Ernie Hudson.
Well, that's his last name. I don't know what his first name was.
General.
Do you know what actually it says on IMDb? It says General Stewart.
Yes. I'm not looking for the ref. I have not seen this.
That was such an Avengers joke. That was what was Coulson's first name, Agent.
It was. It wasn't intent like what I was thinking of. It just. Yeah.
But yeah, so he ends up hugging him, and it's all, yeah, okay, yeah, I don't care. That's the gist of that. And then in the future, Mia is teaming up with Connor to what was it they're doing again? I remember because we find out, of course, that Diggle's other son, his natural son, is actually the leader of the Deathstroke.
The Deathstroke gang.
Yes, which obviously is interesting in of itself. But well, in the context of the show, it's interesting. I don't know if it's not interesting to us. I don't care, but so that's whatever. But they're trying to get tech. I think I can't remember what they're trying to get in the future.
Nor can I.
This
they're
future
trying to get another MacGuffin.
That's another MacGuffin. Honestly, every episode of this future plot has been, we need this MacGuffin. Okay, because one of them was like her taking Oliver's son, whatever his name is, to the market. And it was like, oh, we need this
for the cassette player.
Yeah, we need a cassette player because they're like
one of them. Felicity was the MacGuffin.
That was the full episode. Felicity was the MacGuffin. It's always been about getting the. It's basically it's a video game. It's a fetch quest. Every single plot's a fetch quest.
It really is, with a horrible, horrible filter that if I was playing it as a video game, I would turn off immediately.
Yeah, so that was that. I don't know. Arrow, I like sometimes Arrow's memorable because it's funny bad. This was not a funny bad week. This was just tedious, boring.
Yeah, dull.
Yeah. So more on funny bad when we get to another show in a little bit.
Yeah, but we got funny good for.
Well, we do, yeah, because we got DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 12. It's called The Eggplant, the Witch in the Wardrobe.
It's a good title.
So I will start with a critique of this episode. I did think it was weird how we start off with I thought it was weird there was no hint that Ava was in trouble to us last. I mean, not that Sarah needed to know she was in trouble, but it felt weird to me to just start the episode with a scene where she goes to the apartment and Ava's like missing and like it's clearly
I get that.
foul play. It felt weird not to like hint that something was wrong. Like even if it was just as simple as she tries to call Ava last episode and the camera pulls out from the machine and we see chaos.
See the empty apartment.
Yeah. And then it leads us into like this discovery of this episode. It felt really abrupt. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have any other problems with the plot in that sense. But yeah, so it's like they find her in this motel. She's got like symbols all over, and it's Neron's prepping her for, not for himself, but from was it Agatha? Is the other demon?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Not Agatha. No, it's not in the credits because there was no one playing. Obviously, yeah. It's just we've only heard the name so far. But the idea is there's this other evil, demon that he's in love with.
Neron's got a wife.
Yeah, basically that's the gist. So he's prepping Ava for his wife, for his wife.
I really hope it's not Agatha. After I kind of just said that, then
Agatha,
I don't think it is.
It was something like Agatha. I want to say it was. Yeah, my gut says Agatha, but we'll see. So it's like she's trapped in purgatory, and Sarah's like, "Well, send me in. I'm getting her." And Kirsten's like, "No, that's dangerous. Like, do it. You little shit, or I will throw you off my ship." And he's like, fine then.
Fine, it's your own fault.
Yeah. So he sends her in, and we're inside her purgatory, which is a department store, where Gary is like the one employee that she keeps running into. Sounds more like hell, to be honest.
She may have a bit of a Gary complex to work through.
Yes, he's always there pestering her. And I can't really blame her, because when they do eventually wake up from this and, Sarah goes in for a kiss when they're all happy, Gary like pops up and says, "We did it!" And I really laughed.
Yes,
That was funny.
he's been by the bedside the whole time.
Yes. But yeah, so it's basically a series of like challenges inside this department store, and it's all based around like Ava's clearly scared that they can't like function together because, the example they give is that they tried to build a wardrobe, and Sarah's like, "No, I don't need instructions. I'll just do it." And it falls apart. It's like, "No, let's read the instructions." And but then the fail says, "No, there's one thing that wasn't perfect." Well, that's okay, because nothing is perfect. We just accept it and love it as it is because it's ours. And it's like, okay, very good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd never related more to like this, where flat pack furniture building. There's always one piece at the end where you go, "What the hell was this?"
Yeah, I have literally never done or met a person who actually ignores the instructions, but there's always a piece at the end that's left.
Hello, I set up some wardrobes yesterday.
Come on, you always glance at the instructions to make sure you know what you're doing. You do. Come on.
No, just go for it. You look at the picture on the box of the semi-disassembled bit, because you go, all right, that's the bottom. Yeah, well, these are longer. That'll do. A couple of screws left over, but it seems to be holding up.
Aye, until it kills the missus one night during your sleep, it's going to fall on her.
Fall on me first. It's fine.
Kind of a bit of wood impaled in her neck. It's like, why did this happen? Because Carr didn't read the instructions when he was building the wardrobe.
Every single, all of these shelves around me, never once looked at the instructions. Just knock them together. I'll do.
Well, that's because the shelves are all built the same way. Once you've done them once, you know how to do them forever.
I didn't look at it the first time.
You always do the outside, then you nail the back onto them, then you put in the shelves.
Yeah,
the same.
It's easy
every time.
I mean, I just need instructions. Just you look at it and you go, yeah, that makes sense. If this was like a car, sure, I might look at the instructions then.
I love that you're implying that you could even build a car with instructions.
How hard can it be? Just put the things where it says. I'm relatively confident, given all the parts and a set of, in this case, comprehensive instructions, I could build a car. Might take some time, but I get there.
Comprehensive instructions.
Yeah. Whereas you give me some planks of wood to go, right, here, this is a desk. It's a flat pack desk. Yeah, I can knock that up without instructions.
What about a rocket ship? You could build a rocket ship with a sufficient list of instructions.
Honestly, if the instructions are good enough, yes, because it's just putting things where it says.
I'll tell you right now. No. I'm telling you right now. Anyone who steps on board a rocket to fly it that you've built has got a death wish, and that's just the end of it. And you're not going to catch me doing it.
All I'm saying is, if it's comprehensive.
In fact, while we're on the subject, I'm never going to be in a car you've built either. For the record, it's just not going to happen.
What about a bike?
I mean, a bike's a lot simpler mechanically.
Yeah,
maybe. Bizarrely, though, the thing I'd probably trust you most with is a simple boat, because a boat's just it's just a simple little rowing boat. I'm not talking like a proper ship. I'm talking like just the woods, just a nice little wooden boat.
Like a canoe.
Yeah. Canoe, kayak, whatever. Like one of those.
You mean what you're saying is, as long as it has no moving parts?
Yes. I trust you to hollow out the trunk of a tree and put it on the water.
The worst place? That sounds far more complex to me. Like getting that angle, the angles of the carving, than just slot pieces together. I can do that.
Yeah, but then that opens a debate of like,
because look, all engineering is in terms of building stuff is putting the pieces together. It's just knowing what the things are and when to do it and which ones are which is the knowledge. Yeah, if you give me a good enough set of instructions, I could do it.
Yeah, but there's nuance to it when you've got moving parts, though. There's like ways to know that you've connected it properly. Like, is it accepting fuel the way it's supposed to? kind of, that's a really important element, I think. That
That'll be fine.
Might be an issue, like.
That'll be fine.
I have concerns.
How hard can it be?
Build a boat. I might go in the boat, but everything else, not so much.
You're gonna drown before I blow you up in a car.
Well, no, but I feel like if you build a boat that doesn't work, it's just going to sink on its own anyway. It wouldn't even need me to get into it.
Oh, you're getting into it, and then I'm pushing it out, and we'll find out.
No. It's being tested first. I'm not going to sit in it untested. I won't trust you with a boat that much. Come on. Oh, you tried it first.
I'll try the car first.
This also goes for your cooking. I'm not going to trust that you're not poisoned it. Let's be honest. Like
I cook every single meal in my flat. I'm an excellent cook.
That doesn't mean you've not intentionally poisoned it. I'm still making you taste it first.
In your case, it's a safe move.
Yes, and I'll make you try in both plates as well. I'm not just going to let you try your plate. You're trying both.
Yeah. Okay.
I ain't no fool. Anyway, what are we talking about? Legends.
First task, wardrobe.
And then it was buying a bed, and they had old actors playing them as if they're getting old, and it's commitment and all the relationship themes. That's essentially what was going on here.
Yeah.
And they have fights, and they kind of get through it. But that's a funny moments. Had some drama moments. Had all these things, until they ultimately get out. This plot was fine.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable enough.
By the numbers in terms of, hey, it's relationship fears, let's deal with that. But enjoyable.
Yeah, but it seems like they've fixed it all by the end, which was nice. It's the same thing with Nate and Ray, where I was worried that the tension of Nora might be a bit much for a while. But no, like he has one moment where he walks in, sees her there, and Ray goes, "Oh, good news, by the way, she didn't kill your father. It was Neron."
Yeah.
And then there's like a second where he looks annoyed at him, and then that's it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And they're buddy again.
Nate can't stay mad at Ray.
No. But they go off. So basically, half of Nate's plot this episode is he goes off to this theme park that's already been built, and there's like a big dragon entrance and all that. And
Hank was ambitious.
He was ambitious, and Nate's going to get it cancelled and torn down, and then he changes his mind and he stops the wrecking ball. He steals up for the first time in like 10 episodes.
Yeah, I'm going to say, is that the first time this season?
No, because I remember him doing it in front of his dad, because he was carrying Ray, I think.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
he definitely did it once before. I don't know if he did it any other times, but he definitely did it once.
Yeah,
and yeah, so it's
twice a season effect these days.
Yeah, it's basically that, and there's some. Honestly, the best thing with Nate in this, obviously he's got the big drama at the end because he then tries to confront Neron and he has to be held back with Ray. He actually punches Ray and then immediately that's the moment that snaps him out of his anger, because obviously Neron's making everyone angry. That's we see that in the episode throughout, is that he makes people angry, and that's what snaps him out. He's punched basically his BFF in the face. He's like, "Oh, Ray, I'm so sorry."
Yeah. To be fair, those two, you say basically, those two would probably actually just say that.
Yeah, they would say that, yeah. But there's some more lovable stuff with Nate and Zari, where Zari's plot this episode is basically she's trying to text Nate something, and Charlie and Mona are there trying to help. In fact,
and
Mick, who, in fact, my favourite line of the episode is after they've been sitting debating like emojis and stuff like that. Mick just like pulls a bit of paper out the typewriter and says, "Here, try this. It's erotic but sensitive." And
Zari's response, "I am not saying bulge." That killed me.
I like the first moment though when she's just texting something saying how are you or whatever it was, and Mona just like sneaks her head like, "What you doing? Who you texting?"
I really like this plot.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, that's just really fun. This is how you do on a show where the drama itself is not the engaging part. This is how you do a romance and not make it be tedious. You make it just kind of entertaining and fun.
God, can you remember Coffee Girl?
She was a barista.
She used to be a barista.
She was a barista, and then she was a hot woman, or hot girl, whatever she was going by. I don't know. Can't remember.
She was a terrible romantic relationship with Ray.
Yes, Ray.
It was Ray.
I had to think about that for a second, but it was
I
Ray.
said it and then second guessed myself immediately.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, and do you know what? Do you know what I love? This? I think Nate feels cool because I think he knows because she sends him this text, but it's right before the wrecking ball, so his phone gets all smashed and he doesn't get to read it, and because she was asking him out on a date.
Yeah, there's a
And
great moment after she sends the text and they're like, right, it's all in Nate's hands now, and she goes, "Oh God, what have I done?"
yeah, and she runs off to try and kind of. She's like, "Oh, but that text I said, oh, I didn't even get to see it. So what did you want?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. Just make sure you were okay."
But he will see it because I'm pretty sure he made a point about being backed up to the cloud.
Ah, yeah. And she does this, kind of adorable thing where she walks off in the wrong direction, then has to go back the other way. And he's got this smirk in his face where he's like, he knows.
Of course, he knows.
He knows. He's feeling kind of cool right now. So that's kind of delightful. But he gets all angry because, he's like, that's the son of a bitch to kill my father. And and so we have this big thing where it looks like Nora's being manipulated and like coerced by Neron. Although I kind of suspected the whole time it was all kind of a ruse to, because at one point they mentioned that he's vulnerable when he's not in a body. And I think that's where we're going with this. And sure enough, they are. However, the idiots did not tell Ray the plan. And
to be fair, probably a smart move. I mean, it backfired, but I still think, even how it went down, yeah, they still made the right choice.
But as a result of not making Ray aware of the plan, he comes in and tries to save her. And because of that, Neron becomes aware and chaos ensues. And while it seems like, Neron has left the body,
some of them think that they've destroyed him.
Yes, which I don't know why they think that necessarily. It just kind of like goes up. I thought he just kind of left, but of course the final reveal is that Ray has been taken over by Neron.
Yes, he does the little whistling thing.
Yes, the do 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 do. Pop Goes the Weasel. That's it. I couldn't name it before I sung it. I was like, what is that song? I was like, Pop Goes the Weasel.
Yeah, just thinking, what are the words here?
Yeah. So. Yeah, okay, which is fine. Obviously, we're in the no pun intended, the end game of the season here, and we have 4 episodes left, so it makes sense that we're ramping up, and this gives it some drama that's kind of useful because it means Nora's really going to want to fight for him, and get some emotion out of that, and we can see how that goes. So, and it does make me wonder if she ends up getting possessed with Agatha or whoever the lady demon is. And we get them as a sort of power demon couple.
If this is Agatha, I'm gonna kick myself because every time you say it, I'm like, that's just not right. But it might be.
So what I'm going to Google. I'm going to Google right now. We have to settle this.
We do, don't we?
We have to settle this. I don't feel that strongly on it, but I think it's close.
Just the first time you said it, I went, Agatha, that doesn't sound right. But the problem is, there's a very realistic chance that you are right. So, I mean...
Okay, that didn't do it very good for me. Legends of Tomorrow recap. Eggplant. That ought to do it.
I would have thought so.
Right, I'm just going to recap, and I'm going to do a Control F.
Are you searching just for Agatha?
This website's shit. I'm not clicking allow notifications to because it says you're not allowed until you click allow to confirm you're not a robot. No, I'm not giving you notification privileges. Piss off.
No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, how
you don't want to do that.
How dare you? I will go to another place.
This is making some great viewing.
I know, it is, isn't it? This is important.
Yeah, it is. It is. We gotta know.
Oh, it may not be Agatha. I'm not getting any results.
I'm telling you, it's not. I'm trying to skim the episode and see if I can catch it. He said it in the scene.
It was
Nora, right?
Yeah, it was also because they keep saying it in the department store because that's whoever runs the place.
Oh, you're right.
So it was brought up a few times in that.
I'm just skimming through the scene between him and Nora before Ray runs in. and I'm thinking it'll say there. It might even begin with an A. You might be right, but I'm not going with Agatha. If this is Agatha, I'm not going to tell you. Because I don't want to live with that. I've got it.
What is it?
Tabitha.
Oh! No, I stand by it. That was close.
All right. It was close, but enough that I knew it wasn't right.
No, but you can't blame me for thinking it was Agatha.
Damn it, no. Okay. You're on the right lines.
Agatha, Tabitha, same difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was settled for the people.
Yeah, I'm taking those points. I'm taking those points.
No.
Not full points. I'm taking half points for that.
I was literally exactly as right as you were, if not more so.
No, because you were that doesn't sound right at all. You were like.
No, I said it is not Agatha.
No,
that is more right than you saying it's Agatha.
This is some retconning. This is some retconning bullshit. I will not have it on my show. Stop it. Stop.
Oh please, Legends retcons all the time.
I mean, Legends was good. That's pretty good. Well, it wasn't one of its standout episodes, but as per usual.
But the fact that like we can have the stuff between Nate and Zari and be some of the most enjoyable stuff in the episode. And better than everything else on the CW this week.
Oh, for sure.
Comfortably, that one plot alone is comfortably better than everything else.
Which leads us onto The Flash, season 5, episode 19. This is called Snowpack.
Yeah, I remembered.
And Icicle's back. And here's the first thing I want to say about Icicle. Every time he raised his arms to fire his ice blast or like ice out of a room or whatever, it always looked like he was in a music video and he was dancing. Like he was about to do into a dance where he was doing just putting his hands out and he's like doing these, like it always felt like he was about to dance. And part of it's the horrible makeup, the horrible outfit, the overacting, all of it. It's terrible. It's laughably bad. And there's a couple of moments in this episode, towards the end especially. There's a moment where he comes jumping out of a cloud of dry ice essentially.
Oh, it's so bad.
And the look in his face in slow motion is absolutely awful. And then you cut to Caitlin reaction shot, which is equally just like, and it's just over the top. Like everything about it is terrible. This was straight up. This is probably worse than the Arrow episode this week, but at least it was funnier because it was so bad.
More enjoyable, but objectively worse.
Yes. This was absolutely terrible. This was, and the plot of the episode is that he wants to give his wife ice powers as well, but make sure Caitlin and his wife succumb to their ice personalities completely, so that they're all evil ice people together. But of course, when he goes to kill Caitlin, which by the way, they do the Iceman thing where they're both like riding ice up into the sky and doing the loop-to-loops and all that. They have the fight up there on these ice ramps.
Which is a fine idea.
Although I did laugh at the end though, because she turns back into Caitlin. He eventually becomes himself again, his true self. Because remember the twist last time we saw him was that he was secretly always the evil Killer Frost version, or Icicle. And it's like, okay, almost killing Caitlin gave him the strength to like fight and like come back to power in the body and blah blah blah.
Didn't last time though.
Fine. I immediately said, wait, how are they getting down from there now?
And then the next scene, they kind of just hobble in.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, she could turn back out of Killer Frost and get them down, but I don't know, I just felt weird.
Could have asked Cisco for a little vibe.
Cisco's not in this episode, though.
Exactly.
Because in traditional Flash honor, we have a scene at the start which explains why 2 or 3 cast members aren't around. Although oddly, one of them was Cecile, who is in the episode, which was honestly the most surprising thing Flash has done in a long time. Is like I had to say, like, okay, where are these characters? Oh, Cisco's on Earth 2 talking to Gypsy or something like that about things. Someone else is doing this, and Cecile's off doing this. And I thought, well, I guess those 3 aren't in the episode then. And then, like, 2 scenes later, like, Cecile's there, and I was like, whoa, Cecile's actually in the episode!
That was weird.
I almost think they accidentally wrote that in. It was maybe for the next episode or something like that.
They got ahead of themselves.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was, I mean, that was the Ace plot. Every single time Icicle was on the screen, it was like a bad cosplay dancing. It felt like he was every time he moved his hands up to do his thing. It felt like he was breaking out into a dance, and it just made me cringe and laugh.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was terrible. And then the other plot is that Nora is in the future with Eobard, and he's training her how to unlock the negative speed force, because if she goes back in time, her father will sense it, even though he's never sensed that before with anyone else. I don't think.
And she's like, "Hey, he never sensed you coming. How did you do that?"
Yeah, so it's like, we're doing the negative speed force, okay, and by the end she kind of does it, and it's just kind of bullshit. It's more of him just like giving her speeches as she's running.
I will say we have glossed over the single best thing in the episode.
Oh,
it's the opening between Barry and Iris.
Oh, well, I was getting to the Barry Iris because Iris is mad at him for taking Nora to the future. She wanted to say goodbye, and she didn't want to be as harsh on her. Understand she made a mistake, understand why she did what she did, and Iris is like, because Iris did a couple of rough episodes this season where I typically like Iris, and she does seem to be the more sensible one, but they've given her a couple of weird plots this year that have kind of just made her hard to sit through. This was back to like why Iris is usually one of the most sensible people on the show, because she starts calling out Barry and all his shit. he says something like, I don't know, I can't trust her. He's working with Thor, blah blah blah, and she's like, what about you when you did this? And then
there's a great point. She's like, well, how about a Flashpoint, eh?
Yeah, how about Flashpoint? And then also says, you're always just deciding things with your emotions. You never actually talk about them. As soon as you decide something and feel it's the right thing to do, you just
and
go
he
do
goes,
it.
Because I'm right about this. Barry.
And I'm like,
bad move.
She deserves to kill you for that line.
Yeah.
She does. I'm on her side. But Joe, the sad part is that in a better written show, I think you could actually justify how Barry's acting here, because so many people in the past have turned out to be villains and betrayed him. You could justify it.
Sanjay
himself. Like, you could justify it. If this was better written, you could see this argument coming from both sides and say, hey, this is why he feels this way and why he can't let it pass. But the Flash's rating is not that good. It can't do that. So she wins this argument hands down. It's not even close. Like, from the audience perspective,
he gets in a couple of digs towards the end.
Sure, he does, but from the audience perspective, he's just in the wrong.
The minute he said, "That's because I'm right," it's like, yep, you just lost.
Yep. So, yep. Sorry, not working.
No, but they're fine by the end of the episode, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever they're going to do, they have to do it together, because actually my favorite part of the episode is Iris wants to get one of those time spheres and go to the future, and Ralph, who she thinks is going to stop him, says, "Oh, let's go. Who's that about stopping you?" So we get Iris and Ralph teaming up to go to the future, and we get them like peeking their heads around the corner, Scooby-Doo style, and just some hijinks. And honestly, this made me think, you know what? Get Barry out of this show. Just give me Iris and Ralph being a detective duo, and I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I'll watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, we don't need Cisco. Clearly, because he's not been around.
We don't need Cisco, we don't need Caitlin.
No.
Joe's an enjoyable enough character. Honestly, Cecile and Joe, like, Cecile's one of the funniest characters in the show at this point. Give me Joe and Cecile as background characters. Give me Ralph and Iris as a duo.
And keep Sherlock as the antagonistic member of the group.
Yeah, which is the other arc of this episode. Is at the start of the episode, Ralph, for the second episode in a row, says, "Hey, buddy, you're not part of this family." And I'm like, hey, when did Ralph become such a part of the inner circle? I said that last week, but I said it again this week, because it was like, this is even more on the nose. This is more, no, I'm part of this family.
They actually said, he was like, no, family time.
This was starting to feel like a Fast and the Furious movie, because by the end of the episode, the amount of times that they'd reference, Sherlock was like, "Oh, I'm not part of this family," and by the end, because Sherlock helps them save the day by the end, with the Caitlin stuff and saving her mother, because her mother almost becomes Nora Freeze in the cryo chamber, and they have to explain to Barry how to get her out, blah blah blah, and he's the one who figures it out. And then Ralph goes to says, "No, don't leave, Sherlock. You know, you help this family, your family." And I'm like, okay, fine, which is fine. Like, I don't like this is not a well written plot, but there's nothing wrong with it either. It's just kind
I
of
like how they adopt a worlds every season.
yeah. I feel like this took longer. I feel like HR was like more welcomed earlier than this. Do you know the weird part about this? Because there are plot points here is that Cicada 2 has kidnapped her younger self and is apparently going to do something with her. Or was that last week? I think that was this week.
No, that was this week.
Was that this week?
Maybe she kidnapped at the end of this one? Or the end of the last one? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It was definitely mentioned in this one.
It was mentioned, yeah. Because they're going around talking about Cicada 2 a couple of times.
I can't believe they're actually just calling it Cicada 2.
I love it. Cicada 3's next season. The trilogy must be complete. Unless the trilogy is younger self, so we get mini Cicada, and that's Cicada 3. And then we get a spin-off next year called 2.5 Cicadas.
I wouldn't watch it.
I might.
It is every vet must die, the catchphrase.
No, I'm just imagining Chris Klein like making breakfast for young. What's her actual name? The kid's name again?
I want to say Grace, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
Grace.
that's right.
No, it's Grace.
Oh.
Grace,
Closer than your Agatha.
what do you want for breakfast?
I like how to you Chris Klein has a Batman voice.
It's almost a Batman voice. I guess I just can't differentiate between my cicada and my Batman, but
Yeah.
Grace,
Chris Klein probably can't either.
what do you want for breakfast? How did I do girl version of that one? Eggs. Pancakes. Okay.
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh god. I want Cicada to do like commercials for like department stores and stuff, where instead of saying every meta must die, he's like every price must die or something like that.
Every price must drop.
Every price will drop.
It's a clearance, like everything must go. Every item must sell.
Oh dear. Oh, Icicle's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Dear. God.
I can't believe how bad Flash has gone. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, it's garbage. This season, like, because this is the thing. Much like season 4, there was some optimism to start because Nora was a pretty likable character, and the injection of her in the first maybe 3 episodes, maybe 4, was kind of fun. And Ralph had the same effect last season, and Ralph has continued to be mostly entertaining. Obviously, there was that stretch where he was taken over by DeVoe, so he kind of went away for a bit.
That's the thing. Last season got a bit strong, got a better start because we had the good actor for DeVoe. It was like, oh, this is maybe a compelling villain.
Yeah. So the optimism for this season went away quicker, but it was still there for a little bit at the start. Cicada was always bad, but it was like, okay, maybe the villain will suck, but everything else will still be fun, so whatever. And then that just, Cicada got
And
worse
here we
and
are
worse.
now.
And do you know the weird thing, just to sort of look at the season as a whole at this point, is that we're
doing a post-mortem. We haven't finished yet.
No, not post-mortem. This is just a sort of as things stand, because this is episode 19. Is it just me, or does it not feel like it's ramping up to the finale yet? It feels like we're still just setting things up.
This was an ultra filler episode.
Yeah, I feel like we're still just setting things up, and we're not like ramping up to the ending now.
Are we not supposed to be dealing with Thorn?
We have to deal with Thorn at some point. Like, Nora runs into the past all negative looking.
Yeah, but this show doesn't seem to care that Thorn's meant to be our villain now. That's what when we got to that in like the 100th episode, that was the thing, right? It's like, oh, it's Thorn all along.
Yeah,
and they've kind of gone.
What's the thing? I think it's still
is it though.
I think it's still going to be Thorn technically in the final episode. I think saving Nora from Thorn and like talking her out or whatever this is going to be the big thing at the end. But
right, which is that's what I mean. And then they're gone. Yeah, look, Thorn, sure. But you haven't had enough Cicada yet, so here's Cicada 2. I was like, what are you doing?
Do you know what the sad part about this is that it makes Cicada as a whole feel like just filler on its. The entire concept of Cicada is just there.
It's filler until we can get to Thorn.
It's just there to be the generic villain that Nora wants to like try and help catch. That is the entire purpose of Cicada. At least up until this point. Maybe they'll do something with Cicada too by the end. And I still can't believe that we actually. I mean, as much as he was terrible, it's weird to me that we did kill off the main villain like 2/3 out of the season and switch to the new version of the main villain.
It amazes me that Cicada is the villain they never caught.
Oh my god. Flash is garbage. I thought like Flash is garbage this year. And it was mostly it was pretty garbage last year as well. To be fair, once it got to the back, like, other than Flash Time was this bright gem.
Yeah, we've not had a Flash Time. Tell you that.
Hey, maybe we'll get one in the last 3 episodes, or is it 4? Was it 22 or 20? I think it's 22 this year. I want to say it was 22 this year for all the shows.
Oh, they all? I thought it was just Arrow that was short.
Well, I assume because Arrow was shorter than Flash, and Supergirl has never been 23, so that's probably still 22. Or was that 23 last year? Because I feel like it was 22, Supergirl, and then last year was 23, and that was surprising because it was 22 before that.
Let's have a quick look.
This is the problem with it not being consistent.
The Flash, I am... Damn it, I'm only seeing 21 so far.
22 on IMDb, and at this point it's probably accurate.
Probably. Wait, is Flash taking another? Oh no, so it's fine. I just missed over a week. So we got what, 3 left?
3 episodes left.
That is weird.
Yeah, and Supergirl.
Supergirl's definitely getting 22 because the last episode's called Quest for Peace.
That's right. So yeah, they're all 22 now. Which is fine. Like, they don't need 23.
but you are right. It was 23 last year.
Was it? Okay. It was 22 before that, though. So seasons 2 was 22. Season 3 was 23. So we're back to 22. I feel like there'll be 22 going forward now, just because they've got more shows and.
Yeah.
Like, why do 23?
I hate that Arrow is probably going to benefit from cutting down to 10. It's like, do it to all of them. Cut them all down. Scrap them down.
We'll see.
Give Legends more.
I'm not convinced, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, okay, they'll squander it, but just in concept, it should be tighter.
All right. I think we're done. Are we picking a favorite?
So it's Doom Patrol or Legends.
This is true.
It's actually an interesting choice because Doom Patrol wasn't like firing on all cylinders amazing, right? It wasn't its best. Legends also wasn't its best, but its character, its character work was better. I'm a lot more attached to those characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Legends just because it didn't make me feel sick.
I might give it to Legends as well, but it is worth. This is like scraping the win.
Yeah, they're very close.
They're very close. They're scraping the win this week.
And there is a chasm between those two and whatever's next. Supergirl, probably.
Well, there's a chasm between those and Supergirl, but then there's another chasm after that.
There is, yeah.
To Arrow and Flash.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's been television for the multiverse. On this here week. We're in the 70s. I don't know what number we're on exactly. This might be 75.
I don't know.
Maybe 74.
75, you're right.
75, yeah. Not quite a milestone necessarily, but it's a benchmark in the weight of the milestone.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So that has been this week's television for the multiverse. Of course, we also do a comic book show called Comics from the Multiverse, which you might want to check out, where me, Connor, and also Matt look at DC comics every week that we read, and we talk about them and have general fun doing that. Other than that, you can of course tell us what you thought of the shows in the description, or in the comments rather below on the YouTubes, or on the Twitters at DC Comics Podcast for DC stuff specifically, or at mailed_fuzz for general channel updates and all the other content we do. Worth mentioning, we do have various audio feeds, various shows on YouTube. There's a nice handy list to all of them on our Patreon, what you can go to support us for as little as $1 per month. It's patreon.com/mailfuzztv. You get some bonuses, you get some stuff early. Go and have a look and see if there's anything that strikes your fancy. But you get stuff for as little as $1 per month. Otherwise, though, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. You can keep watching superhero TV shows, but remember that sometimes we screw things up for the better.